This is Moments with Fu with James Fu Torres, better known as Fu, the show that takes you around the world to share interviews with some of the most successful and relevant people on the planet, hear their stories, and get the most important business lessons they have learned on their road to success, and get exclusive advice on how to implement their success into your life and business. Moments with Fu is brought to you by the Strategic Advisor Board and your host, Fu.
Welcome to Moments with Fu. I'm your host, James Fu Torres, but you can call me Fu. Hence the name of the show. Today I have Johanna. She is a yogi master, I like to call her, and master of masters. But I'm going to let her introduce herself. But first, Johanna, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks again for having me. Always love sharing time with you. So my name is Johanna, and I am the owner and founder of Beyond Asana Yoga School. And it is my goal and purpose in life to share this beautiful practice with as many people as I can and are interested, right? Not everyone's interested in learning about this, but it's really an honor for me to be able to have this knowledge and the experience that I can help enlighten other beings, right? Because I feel like that's why we're in the world, to lift each other up, elevate the collective.
I absolutely love that because I'm all about being in collective. That's why I have my community, El Colectivo, which is the collective in Spanish. And I also think the same way as you. It's like I'm here to help as many people as I can, as many people as they allow me to, right?
Of course.
Right? And with marketing, we focus on get to as many people as possible, and those that resonate with us, they stay, and just rinse and repeat that process, right?
Absolutely.
So let's talk a bit about you, like more deeper than okay, you're doing this right now, but where are you heading, and what gave you that direction?
What can I say? I feel like the universe guides me. I'm a firm believer that you can have a thought of where you want to go, but you can never have the step 1, step 2, step 3 too deeply outlined, because if the universe can't give it to you that way, you have to accept it the way that it comes. So yoga started being a part of my life in 2005, but it was more of a personal practice. And it really started becoming something that I taught in 2011, but I didn't really integrate it as deeply into my teachings until about 2014. And then I started the yoga school for the Bay Clubs in California. I was actually hired as a signature program developer. So what I did was I developed classes that were specific for all 14 of their clubs to teach, so that no matter what club you went to, you would go to the same class and have the same experience. Nice. And I started with something called Glide Fit, which is like paddle boards that you do exercise with, but in a pool. So it's tethered to the lanes in a pool. And once I finished with that program, I put together the yoga school, which is called Bay Lifestyle, because it was for the Bay Clubs. And this is my doggie. She wants to come say hi. But when COVID came, they didn't really know what to do with the school. And obviously having someone on board to create signature programs when you have no idea when people are going to come back to the gym wasn't really something that financially they could handle. So they basically fired me and told me to take the school with me. And so in 2011, the school was founded, and in 2019, the school was founded. And in 2020, I took it over, changed the name of my company from Life and Style Coaches to Bay Lifestyle. And then I asked the universe, so if Bay is mine, what does it stand for? And in a meditation, about 1 minute after I asked, it was Beyond Asana Yoga. And it was perfect, because a lot of what we teach is that yoga goes beyond the yoga mat. You can do asana and not necessarily be doing yoga. It would just be a workout if you don't have the right mindset, the right focus. So for us, like, a lot of what we focus on is, how do we incorporate a yoga lifestyle? How do we make it so that we're mindful in everything that we do? Not just when we're sitting in a meditation or taking a physical practice, but when we're having a conversation, when we're having an experience, when we're having a bad day, when there's something going on that is not really something that we're looking for or asking for, so that we can actually learn more from life and be more present in life.
Yeah, that resonates with me so deeply. because I started doing yoga because I wanted something that I could kind of decompress and mix the breath work with meditation with exercise, right? I was like, oh, what's something that I can do like that? And I started testing that, and I was like, I really like it. I feel efficient. I feel productive doing it. And when you emphasize that of you have to meditate during the yoga. If not, then you're just working out, right? And that's something that I sometimes I think about that. It's like, okay, it's not only doing the poses, right? It's doing the breath work and getting in the body, just really getting out of the mind. And that's something it's tough for me, especially, being a business owner. And a lot of people here, I know that they're going to relate because the audience are a lot of business owners. So if you're looking for a way that you can really learn how to get out of your mind and kind of declutter, think about it as if you have an electronic, a computer or something, and then you want to, it's kind of buggy or whatever, you want to clear everything and then put back the files and everything, save everything. So that's basically how I see when I do yoga and meditation.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what your mind is focusing on that makes it yoga.
Where your focus goes, your energy flows.
Exactly. And it's often in a physical class where you have a lot of people, your mind can be in, am I doing this right? Or look at that other person, they can do something I can't do. And really, it's about how do I bring this experience into an internal awareness where I'm focusing on who I am and what's happening in my body and what's happening in my breath. And that's how we start to learn to focus. The more you learn to focus on what you're doing on your yoga mat, the more that you can bring that focus into the present moment in everything that you're doing in life. And that's really what the goal of even the physical practice is. It's great that you get stronger. It's great that you get more flexible. But what if you can't walk tomorrow? Is the strength and the flexibility going to help you? Not necessarily. But if you learn to focus your mind and to understand your thoughts and to understand what all that is about, then you can bring what the yoga teaches you on the mat into what you're experiencing at every moment in your life. And that's really, for me, it's the most impactful thing that yoga has given me, because I can use it no matter what's going on in my life. And that part helps me every minute of every day, not just while I'm on my yoga mat.
You say it's a lifestyle, and I take that to heart. And that's why I love going to new yoga classes, yoga group, yoga communities, because it's not about the class.
Yeah.
The class is part of it. It's the lead magnet, I would say. But in reality, it's to find your people, to find my people, at least.
Yeah.
I know every time, not everybody, right? Because everybody's their own journey, and sometimes they go just try it out, whatever. But when you find the yogis, it's they all are in this holistic growth mindset and looking at all this spiritual things, and often they're entrepreneurs because that's kind of how they got there, I did. It's I need something to hold me. I need something to ground me. I'm way too much in my mind. And looking for spirituality, religion wasn't the thing that I really resonated with. So that's why I ended up in yoga, because it's almost like a religion that is not a religion. I would say it's like a religion anarchist or something. I don't know. Does that make sense?
No, it does. And you're right. It really isn't a religion. It's not even a belief system. It's more of a lifestyle system. It's instructions on how do I understand and take care of my body, how I understand and take care of my mind, how does my thought pattern affect my emotions and the way that I'm vibrating in the world and for myself. And that's something that anyone who believes in anything can incorporate. And like you, religion has never resonated with me. I mean, ever since I was a kid, the whole thing just seemed insane to me. And
I fell asleep. That was the thing. It's I'm in the church and I'm it's boring. I just don't get it. And I get a lot of things of it. I like learning about Jesus Christ. That part of him as this human that it's more connected to the divine. I love that, right?
Yeah.
But not the religion.
Well, my issue with it is the whole point of being a Christian is to be like Christ, right? Like you're attempting to live your life Christ-like, which is actually what the yoga system teaches you, is to be a good person, to love your brother, to not hurt your brother, right? However, I find that a lot of people that are in religion spend more time judging themselves and others than they do taking care of their brother and acting like Christ. And I think that's kind of what pulled me away from religion.
Same.
It was like, I feel like this person is attempting to teach us instructions on how to live our lives. And instead of us taking those instructions and attempting to input them on ourselves and act that way, we're saying, oh yes, he was a great person because he could do all this. But then how do we kind of bring that legacy forward? And I feel like that's kind of the puzzle piece that was missing for me with religion, and I feel like that's what yoga gave to me. It gave me a way to incorporate things so that I could be less judgmental, so that I could accept things in a better way, so that I could understand love and how to give, receive, and have self-love at a much deeper level.
I really like that, and it's something that resonates with me. And I want to talk about back to kind of like the meditation and something specific about it, that when you meditate, it's not the goal is not to just clear your mind. Like it's more to recognize that you are in that moment just kind of focusing on something like your breath, your body, and when thoughts can't come, being able to just kind of observe them like clouds and let them go, right? So that way you don't get on that cloud and go with it. And if you do go with it, then have the awareness and go back to the moment, the present, right?
Yeah, like that's one thing that a lot of people struggle with in meditation. They say to me, I can't meditate because I can't stop thinking. And the fact of the matter is that you'll never stop thinking, because the goal of meditation is not to stop thinking. That's basically saying, I want my car to drive, but I want the engine to stay off. Okay, so your car is not going to move if the engine is off. Your mind's nature is to think. So you're always going to think. The difference is, how much are you attaching to the thoughts? How much are you identifying with the thoughts? How much conversation are you giving the thoughts? And to understand how to meditate, or what happens when you meditate, is to become the observer of your thoughts. That to me was the biggest aha moment, was when I understood I am not my body, I am not my mind, I am the thing that can observe the fact that I am thinking and I am being. And I know this may not make sense to everyone. It took a while for me to make
it.
Yeah, it is. But it's like, if you can watch yourself thinking, then you're not what's thinking. You're what's watching and observing the thinking. And that's that awareness, right? You become this observer, in which gives you the ability to kind of understand your thought patterns, understand those crazy railroads that you get on, that you just go and you just lose yourself. Because a lot of what makes us suffer and what makes our emotions go up and down is our thought pattern. It's not even anything actually happening. It's just thoughts that we're having. So when you can become the observer of the thoughts and get that awareness, like you mentioned, you're less likely to get on the train. You can watch the train go by without having to get on the train and go with the thought patterns. You can watch the thought go by, and instead of having the conversation, you can look back and be like, wow, why did that come up? That question of why did it come up is what kind of helps us look into our traumas, look into our habits, look into these mental patterns that we have, and notice what serves me, what doesn't serve me. Because a lot of time we go down these paths of negative self-talk, negative self-thought, doubt, and all of that. When you get on that train, it literally affects your whole being, your emotions, your vibration, how much you actually believe that you can complete things or not complete things. But it's just as easy to get on a train that says, I can do this, and go in a direction of, how would I do this? What would have to happen? How awesome would this be? Then, I can't do this. I don't have the tools. I don't have the money. I don't have the resources. It's just, when you become the observer, as that train goes by, you get to choose, observe, is this a direction that I want to be on?
Yeah, it's I call it like manage to be objective about your life, and then also you can do it then with other people's.
Of course.
Because then you start having the empathy, because now you know, like, if you're not your thoughts and your body, then they are also not that, right? And then you can have empathy. It's like, oh, like they haven't realized that all these things, and understand that even though that you do realize that you still go through the struggles, right?
Of course, especially when we go through times in our lives that are tough, right? We lose a loved one, we have a breakup. All of those things are going to bring emotions and bring thoughts up. But how long are you going to hold on to that? How long are you going to stay on that train? Are you going to get off on the next stop knowing that that's how long the lifetime needs to take of that thought? Or are you going to identify with it to the point where it's going to affect how you're living your life? And we live in a world where a lot of us feel victims of the things going on in our lives, not realizing that we are creating that just by the way that we're attaching to things. Like when you feel like something is happening to you, people are doing things to you, other people are responsible for things. The second you get on that train, you have no control of anything. Because the only thing we can actually control in this whole experience of life is what thought am I attaching myself to? That's it. Nothing else. Not what's happening, not the emotions that come with the thoughts, but what thought itself am I hanging on to and going with?
Thought itself. I like that. So what are some actionable tips or advice that you have for the audience so they can recognize that and get back, right? Like, because it's all about that awareness and then going back to the present moment. So what are some actionable tips or advice you have for them?
Well, start by kind of noticing when you're by yourself and your mind is going wild. Are you having the same thought every day? That's the first one.
Thought every day.
Oftentimes, those negative, or sometimes even positive, but those like random conversations that we have in our head repeat. It's like you're on repeat every day. And then have something that you're working on, a word, an affirmation, a tangible goal that you have that you can always come back to. I think for me, that was a really kind of crucial part that no one had taught me. And when I learned that, that changed everything. Because it's easy to say, okay, well, my thoughts are going in this direction. How do I switch them? If you have something else that you're focusing on, you have something to switch them to. For example, Mel Robbins says, when you notice that your thoughts are going in the wrong direction, say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and change them back to the direction you want them to. There's another one that says, say stop, drop, and roll. You stop the thought, you drop it, and you roll into the thoughts that you're looking forward to, right? So there's different kind of tools that we can use. But for me, the most important one was, what is it that I'm creating? What is it that I want in my life? And then have an affirmation. For example, I'm building a studio right now, another yoga studio. And anytime my head is going into directions that I don't want, I imagine myself in that yoga studio. What are the floors going to look like? What are the curtains going to look like? What are the pictures on the wall going to look like? What is the mural that I want to have on the one wall? And how would I look like if I'm teaching classes in that studio? How many people are going to fit in there? What would the mats look like? Am I aligning them this way? Am I aligning them the other way? I rather my head go into a creative direction where I am creating what I desire in my mind and living in my mind as if it's already happened.
I completely resonate with that, and I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for those valuable insights. And I love how we went from a half-day retreat, right? And we kind of like got together in community and got very grounded. And then, I don't know, I feel so great to do this podcast. And I just want to keep doing this because it's something that I do just because I want to, not because I need to do it. And I love this. So thank you for this.
Absolutely. You're welcome. And like always, you know, these donation-based events, the goal is to be able to offer people this information and this insights, regardless of whether they can do it financially or not. Because as we know, yoga's become a world that is a luxury, really, because it's $20 for a yoga class, $100 a week if you want to go every day, and not everyone can afford that. So I want to keep kind of offering this space where people can come in and regardless of their financial place in life, like, you're giving me your energy for being here, I'm giving you my knowledge for you coming. And I feel like, as you've mentioned before when we've talked, there is a big exchange that doesn't have to be financial. It can be energy. And Keisha today brought dessert, and
amazing, by the way.
Her
Vegan
trade was dessert.
And vegetarian. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's just, for me, it's all about giving back. Yoga is a big way that I can give back to the world.
Yeah, and you're able to do that because you have other streams of income that you don't have to depend on that to make a living. What then allows you to then, hey, just come here, donation base. If you don't have money, if you don't know how to make delicious desserts, then maybe offer your hands and help with something over here that you are very open to that, because this place is for the collective, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I feel like we don't get enough places where we're close to nature and that have just good overall vibes. And I'm lucky enough. I mean, I was born here. This has been in my family for 70 years. So I'm lucky enough to have this space. And for me, it's really important to be able to share it and kind of help elevate the collective through the vibration of the space, through the vibration of what happens here and the events that we offer. Yeah.
So, now you know that there's monthly donation-based half-day retreats in this space. Here is in Cupey, Puerto Rico. So if you don't live in Puerto Rico, but you travel, you just want to come here. If you want to even stay, we do retreats here too. Like, you do retreats. I'm planning to start. I haven't started yet, but I'm definitely going to do a few with her, most likely. So it's coming. We're cooking that. And so if you're looking to partner with people, to just spend some time, transformational time, and then have an excuse to make it to Puerto Rico, which is a beautiful island, right? Like, because it's not just here, and then we can go, see the beach and all that, right?
Yeah, we're in the mountains or in nature, but we're super close to everything. And we also do a lot of events that we cater for people, so families, groups of friends, that are more like holistic experiences, because that's really what it's about, mind, body, and soul. Yes.
And that's what I'm about, and that's what we're about. That's what we are. Friends and building community together, because when you find your people, right, everything else just flows. So thank you again. I appreciate your energy so much. I appreciate your space, and I'm definitely gonna be here more often. This is just my second time, but second of many.
Hey, this is your home. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. So this was Joanna and Fu. This is us signing off.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Moments with Fu with your host, Fu. Please leave your feedback and visit strategicadvisorboard.com to get the latest and greatest business advisement on the planet. Follow us on social media for updates, and we will see you on the next episode.